All right, Romelu, quite the week for you then. I know that you had your medical today. How did that go?
It was long. It was long.
But positive.
Long but positive. It was long, but you know, it's something that you have to go through, and delighted.
So how soon can we start or expect the official announcement?
I think there are some details that they have to be discussed between my agent and the club, but at the moment it's looking good.
All right, well, that's exactly what we hope. Now, we know that there's been, of course, a lot of talk about you this season, spectacular season. You just can't stop scoring. So why Manchester United?
It's the biggest club in the world. It's a club that is hungry to win the league again, to be dominant in the world again, and this sort of opportunity that I always wanted since a child. And you know, when they came calling, didn't have to think twice. So I'm really delighted to hopefully be part of their history.
Now, we know because one of your former clubs, Chelsea, also seemed interested, and rightfully so, and they came in last minute. In your mind, was your mind already set on Manchester United, or did Chelsea have a little bit of a chance there?
No, my mind was already set. I gave my word, and I don't look back. I didn't look back since, and I was already mentally preparing to be part of the team.
Well, I know, of course, when Chelsea came in with that last-minute offer, some critics of Manchester United said, you know, why wouldn't he choose Chelsea? They're the Premier League champions, Man United finishing in 6th, only back in the Champions League because of the Europa League victory. What would you say to them?
I would say, who would say no to the biggest club in the world? Best stadium in England, the best fans. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. I always said, you know, I wanted to play for a team that's challenging for every trophy that there is there. So I think Manchester United at the minute wants to be that dominant team, that dominant force. And if you look at the history, you know, it says enough. And you know, to become part of a club like them is something that I really wanted. And you know, I'm thankful for the opportunity that they gave me. And now it's time to work harder than I ever did before, and I'm willing to do it. And hopefully, it will come a good way.
Well, of course, it also helps when you have a few friends on the team, and we know that you have a certain Paul Pogba that you're quite close with. Did he, you know, say anything to sweeten the pot?
I've been talking to him like for about, like, I mean, 7-8 years, and you know, now he's living in Manchester. I live in Manchester. He lives like down the road from where I live, so we're together on a daily basis. And he was explaining to me how it went at the club, and you know, it triggered something in my head, and you know, when the opportunity came, I didn't have to think twice, and yeah, I'm really excited.
And what's that like? Because of course the camaraderie that we see that you do have with Pogba is pretty cool, and it's always good to have, you know, a teammate there. So is that one of the most exciting prospects that you're looking forward to link up, or are there other players that you also just can't wait to get out there and play alongside?
Yeah, all of them, you know. I think they are top players, a good group of guys that is hungry to win trophies, probably with the best manager in the world, a guy who I wanted to play for since I was 10 years old, so now to have the opportunity to work under him again, it's great. And you know, to play in front of those fans, you know, everything is set there to perform, but you know, I have to work harder than I'm doing now, and you know, I know the road is still far, but you know, I'm willing to go on that path and you know, and grab the opportunity that I get.
Well, of course, there you touched on Jose Mourinho, and of course you have very fond things to say. Have you been in contact with him throughout this process? Yeah,
we've been in contact, and you know, he explained me how the club was like, what he expects from me, and you know, I'm really excited to work under him again. You know, we were together under different circumstances. Obviously, the first time when I met him, I was still a young kid, and I was you know, eager to play, and he understood my decision why I left at the time, and we turned on the page. Now, you know, I'm 24. I'm a grown man, and you know, he sees the maturity that has grown throughout the years. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity that he gave me again.
What do you think he's expecting from you now that you've come such a long way from the last time that you worked under him?
I think he wants to improve me, make me a better player than I am today, and which is good. I always want to improve. I want to work on the good stuff, but also on the bad stuff. And he knows how to make players better. So and make from players winners as well. And you know, that, I think for me is the perfect opportunity. I'm 24. I never won a major trophy, but I'm eager to win something and to be part of a team that wins trophies. And I think he's the right guy to help me in that stuff.
Well, of course, you know Jose very well, and I know one of the things when he first started at Manchester United or was linked with Manchester United, a lot of people, especially Manchester United supporters, were a bit hesitant. They didn't think that his style fit the Man United way. But you, of course, respect him so much as a manager. So what are you hoping to see from him? What are some of the aspects that, you know, you'd say to those critics of him that say that he's not doing it the Man United way?
I think he has his own playing style. And with year after year, what you know is that the manager makes the team plays better. So last year the team won 3 trophies, and you know in the league they had it a bit difficult. But this year he will prepare us to make sure that you know we are up there, and it's down to us to follow his plan, to follow his path, and do whatever he wants to bring major trophies to the club.
But one of the things that we know that Manchester United has been needing, especially after this past season, are goals, and that's something that you definitely provide in a big way. It's something that a certain Zlatan Ibrahimovic provided. So now people are quick to say that you're the man to fill his boots, and I know that you have a lot of respect for Zlatan as a player. Do you read into that too much, or what sort of sets you apart to just let you be Romelu Lukaku and not someone to fill Zlatan's boots?
I think Zlatan wrote his history at the club. He did a wonderful job for the club. He was the main guy at Manchester United, and he's a guy who I really look up to and who I learn from a lot, because obviously we share the same agent. So, you know, every time here and there he sends a bit of advice to me and really helps me to improve. But I'm Romelu Lukaku. I'm not Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I will fill up the striker position in my way. But I know that I have to work really hard and deliver more than I've done before. And it's a challenge that I enjoy. And at the end of the day, it's the team. The team is the most important thing at Manchester United. The team has to win trophies, and everybody has to do their best to make sure that the club gets the trophies back that they always had.
So we know, of course, there's a lot of expectations on you and that you have on yourself. What about for the team? What would you hope Manchester United can achieve this upcoming season? Because we understand it's a time where they're rebuilding and whatnot. So what would you be hoping to achieve with the club?
I don't want to talk too much. I'm just going to keep my mouth quiet. But the only thing I can say is that we're going to be there. We're going to be there and we'll be performing for sure. But I don't want to talk too much, because I think the backlash is going to come like last season. So I'm not going to talk much, but we'll be performing for sure.
But you're confident that those glory days are not as far away as some critics would say?
Yeah.
All right, well, you've been out here now, of course, and you'll be participating, playing here in the United States, which is something that everyone here has been excited about. What are you looking forward to in this experience?
I mean, I've been here a couple of times for pre-season, so now to be here with the biggest club in the world is going to be a total different experience. I think it'll be nice to show ourselves to the fans and show the way that how we train. And you know, pre-season is the time where you prepare your season. So for us, it's going to be an important time to get the principles right, to make sure that the competition in between us stays high, and to prepare ourselves for a long season. For a long and hard season, but hopefully with glory at the end.
Well, fans here, of course, are very hungry to see, you know, you along with all the other Manchester United stars. Have you been recognized any at all from your time here?
The last 3 days is beginning a bit more. So yeah, it's nice. You know, it's nice to be in this type of situation. You know, as a footballer, you know that when people recognize you, you're doing something right. So that's my mentality about it. So you know, I'm really happy and grateful to be in this kind of position, and yeah.
And in terms of LA, what's been your favorite part about chilling out here so far?
I mean,
hard to choose one.
to be fair, we've been playing a lot of 5-a-side games with Paul. And I played against Samir Nasri as well, so that was the fun part. That's really the fun part sometimes, where we go and play and just, you know, be like kids again and play and be competitive, and that's a lot of fun.
Well, I know you're also a fan of some American sports, or specifically the NBA as well. I've seen you hanging out with Serge Ibaka too.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite team? If you could go and train with a team tomorrow here
Lakers.
in the NBA, the Lakers.
I'm never going to betray my team. I'm a Lakers fan till I die.
So have you been knocking on their door to see if they'll give you a chance?
I don't know. But yeah, I'm a big Lakers fan.
What about the Lakers? How did that come about?
Kobe, 2002, 2003, and then, you know, like in 2008, I really began to understand like the principles and the positions and stuff, and you know, you see a lot of documentaries, but you know, all this, like Kobe Bryant for me, besides football, besides all the footballing idols that I had, for me, is really my sporting idol. He's somebody that I look up to. Because the way how he started at a young age at such a big franchise, to play for so long and to win so many championships, play through injuries, dedication, hard work, mentality. I mean, that's a guy who I really look up to, and you know, I try to do the same, but obviously in my sport.
And now to the important question, because on social media I've seen Paul show off his basketball skills.
No.
Who's better on court, you or him?
Me.
Oh, not biased.
Me, because we played 2 games in Miami last summer, and my team won 2 games, and I dropped like 15 and 17 points, and he didn't shake my hand when he left. You can ask him.
Ooh, bad sportsmanship.
Yeah, because I left, I had to leave. After the second game, I had my flight to go back to Brussels, and he didn't shake my hand. So ask him, he'll tell you. We
will find out about him. Well, finally, let's talk a bit about your country, Belgium, because it is quite an exciting time, I think, for Belgium in football. There's a lot of young stars too, and in the past couple of international competitions, whether it's the Euros or the World Cup, everyone has labeled Belgium as a dark horse, so to speak, but still saying that they're still just a bit young and will eventually mature. How are you feeling about the current Belgium team and what we can expect from them, and how soon, because it's a World Cup year coming up?
I think it's something that at the Euros, obviously we failed, but now we have to move on forward. We have a new coach, a new training staff, and it's up to us to perform. We're doing well in the group stage of the qualifiers, but you know, on the big stage, that's where we have to be performing. And you know, this year I hope everybody has a good season, nobody gets injured, so at the World Cup hopefully we can deliver. I don't want to look forward too much. I think now we are in a phase that we have 3 difficult games in the qualifiers where we have to perform well, and after that, you know, step by step, when we play friendly games, we have to prepare to be ready for the big stage.
Okay, perfect. Well, exciting times ahead for you, Romelu. We'll definitely be watching you closely. Thank you so much for talking to us, and all the best for the upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Romelu, quite the week for you then. I know that you had your medical today. How did that go?
It was long. It was long.
But positive.
Long but positive. It was long, but you know, it's something that you have to go through, and delighted.
So how soon can we start or expect the official announcement?
I think there are some details that they have to be discussed to my agent and the club, but at the moment it's looking good.
All right, well, that's exactly what we hope. Now, we know that there's been, of course, a lot to talk about you this season, spectacular season. You just can't stop scoring. So why Manchester United?
It's the biggest club in the world. It's a club that is hungry to win the league again, to be dominant in the world again, and this sort of opportunity that I always wanted since a child. And you know, when they came calling, they didn't have to think twice. So I'm really delighted to hopefully be part of their history.
Now, we know, because one of your former clubs, Chelsea, also seemed interested, and rightfully so, and they came in last minute. In your mind, was your mind already set on Manchester United, or did Chelsea have a little bit of a chance there?
No, my mind was already set. I gave my word, and I don't look back. I didn't look back since, and I was already mentally preparing to be part of the team.
Well, I know, of course, when Chelsea came in with that last-minute offer, some critics of Manchester United said, you know, why wouldn't he choose Chelsea? They're the Premier League champions, Man United finishing in 6th, only back in the Champions League because of the Europa League victory. What would you say to them?
I would say, who would say no to the biggest club in the world? Best stadium in England, the best fans. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. I always said that, you know, I wanted to play for a team that's challenging for every trophy that there is there. So I think Manchester United at the minute wants to be that dominant team, that dominant force. And if you look at the history, you know, it says enough. And you know, to become part of a club like them is something that I really wanted. And you know, I'm thankful for the opportunity that they gave me. And now it's time to work harder than I ever did before, and I'm willing to do it, and hopefully it will come a good way.
Well, of course, it also helps when you have a few friends on the team, and we know that you have a certain Paul Pogba that you're quite close with. Did he, you know, say anything to sweeten the pot?
I've been talking to him like for about 7-8 years, and you know, now he's living in Manchester. I live in Manchester. He lives like down the road from where I live, so we are